everybody and welcome back. Today's episode is the 33rd so far. Actually, I'm recording this the day after ride, as yesterday I hadn't the time to record the podcast episode on time, so a bit late this week. Overall, the ride itself was nothing special, just a few little things which made it different than the usual rides. But to be honest, looking back the last few weeks, every ride had some speciality which made it unique in its own way. Like yesterday, the warm-up, which is 15 minutes, feels easier and easier every time, but also from a time perspective, I'm getting faster and faster. As I told you already in the last few episodes, now I'm usually 2 to 3 minutes faster than I've been a month ago. Which has the disadvantage that I have to start my first interval right in the middle of a steep ramp, so therefore I have to really calm down and try not to push too hard, which I normally do, especially at the beginning of each interval. If I push too hard, especially if it's right in a steep ramp, I try to feel that lack of stamina throughout the whole ride, which doesn't allow me to put out maximum performance. Weather-wise, it was as usual, sunny, and the temperature was around 20 degrees, so like every other day. But the interesting thing was, as it was already 1 week or so, that as higher I got in this small little valley, as warmer the temperature got. After finishing 3 intervals, where I usually stop at the start of the trail, where I put on my knee pads and so on, normally I'm freezing a bit as I'm sweating. Therefore the wind is cooling me down. But in this case I thought, why haven't I even brought a jacket? Because it was so warm. My assumption, as already said once, is that the warm air is rising up into the valley as the colder air is descending when the sun sets. After that I've reached the first few houses. There it got colder than expected. A jacket is mandatory these days and it won't get any better unless I'm starting at around 12 a.m. or something. So last time I found out that actually the last few weeks, the downhill itself between the interval sets, I've ridden those only on the forest road. And as my performance has decreased, I try to ride at least some parts on the trail. And so far it isn't decreasing my stamina, so I will keep on riding the downhill section on the trail as much as possible. As I did yesterday, I wasn't able to reach a trail entrance on time after each intense interval, but I tried to descend as far as I could until I reached a spot where I could drop in the trail and at least ride half of the downhill on the trail before the next interval starts. And as said, so far, my stamina hasn't decreased, but the overall feeling is that it's working out better, which is also probably due to the active rest days, which I'm now doing more consistently without any breaks. As my assumption is currently, if I take any breaks from the active rest day, I really feel like my stamina isn't as strong as it tended to be before, or at least my legs cannot keep up with the speed I'm trying to ride. And what I've also tried is to ride more in a higher gear, which actually means less revolutions, but I have to put in more force, which is not possible all the way through the uphill, as there tend to be a few steeper ramps distributed along the uphill where I have to shift back, otherwise I'm using up too much stamina, which in the long term would decrease my overall performance. So I try to ride those steep ramps still at a fast pace, but I try to reserve also some stamina for the later ride, which is the same method which I also apply on the first few seconds or the first few minutes when I start an intense interval. As if I mess it up there, my stamina is gone for the whole ride. With that said, thank you for listening and until the next time.